Okay, here we have an example that says find the center and the radius of each circle. Then we're going to graph the circle, and then we're going to find the intercepts. Alright, so if we look at the equation that we've been given here, this is almost standard form, but not exactly. Just a quick reminder, our standard form looks like x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Now, nowhere in that general form does it have a number or a coefficient in front of those parentheses, does it? No. So that tells us that before we do anything else, we're going to have to divide every one of these terms by 3. That way we can get rid of those coefficients. So now we have x plus 1 quantity squared plus y minus 1 quantity squared equals 6 divided by 3 would be 2. Now this is in much better standard form. So we can list out our center and our radius. Alright, now the center. Remember, the center is that HK point. So it's supposed to be in the form of x minus h. So x minus, what do we have to subtract here to get a plus 1? Well, that would have to be a minus 1, wouldn't it? Because x minus minus 1 would be the same thing as saying x plus 1. That tells us that our h value for the center is really a negative 1. And then our k value comes from here. So we would say y minus k. So y minus, that tells us then that our k value here has to be a 1. You know, I'm going to go ahead and plot that point since we have our graph sitting right here. Negative 1, 1 would be right there. So we're going to go ahead and plot that as our center. Now for the radius. The radius says that it is at this place. Sort of though, right? If you'll remember, this position here is the r squared position. So that means that r squared is 2. But I don't want r squared, I want just plain old r. So if I take the square root of both sides, then that means r is the square root of 2. So our radius is the square root of 2. Alright, so if our radius is the square root of 2, that's about, what, 1 point something or other. So that tells us that we're going to go up 1 point something or other, and down 1 point a little more, and left 1 and a little more, and right 1 and a little more. But, you know, it's hard to get these correct whenever you're guessing like that. Maybe doing the x and the y intercepts will actually help us to be able to get a much better graph of this. So let's pick back up on the x and y intercepts in the next video.